You can type that. I mean, you can type in rank checker and you'll find the site, the company that actually produces it. So there you are, Concierge New York 66, 65, and nothing for Bing. Okay.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. So that's a great tool. I highly recommend jumping on that one. The next tool is and this is and keep in mind these are I forgot to mention these are actual these last two are Firefox plugins. So if you're an Internet Explorer user or Google Chrome or whatever, they might have plugins that you can install. But I'd recommend installing Firefox and using some of these tools. It'll help you tremendously. This Quark search status is a great little tool. This is what the menu looks like. I'll bring you to the live version. There you go. Are we okay? How are you doing on time?
Well, what we might need to do is move down the hall because there's a video conference at 3.
Oh, okay. We can wrap this up.
Okay.
It'll take just a couple more minutes. Okay. I think we're done. If you, when you install the Firefox plugin, you'll get this little icon on the bottom right-hand side, and you can actually right-click, and it'll bring up a whole bunch of menus here. This is what I was talking about. You know, so you don't have to figure out, well, that's great. I need to know if I have 70 character or 70 words or less in my title meta tag. How would I know that? This is one of the best ways to do it. You can actually click right on meta tags. It'll bring up your title, your description, your keywords, everything you need to know about it, and it's going to give you counts and everything. This is an extremely handy tool. Again, right-click. I want to see my robots.txt file, and it brings that up. I want to see my sitemap file. It'll bring that up. I want to see my keyword density, and you type in a keyword, and it'll tell you what that is. It's just really, it's littered with just great tools. Highlight keywords, you know, I want to say management, you know, and it'll go through and actually highlight every place on the page so you can actually very easily identify all the different keywords that are in it. So it's just chock full of really cool tools. Is this the last one? There's 2 more left. This one right here is W3C markup validation service. It's not a very attractive site, but it's something that you probably ought to get familiar with. This is the URL here, validator.w3.org. Punch in your domain name, hit check, and it will spit out errors. And I don't care how good your site is, generally you're going to have some, if not a bunch. And you have to actually have your web developer or your search optimizer go through and address each one of them with you. If I pull up TCGR, I think I've got maybe 4 or 5 errors. If I pull up Renter's Home Guide or one of the other sites I've built that are much more complex, it might have 300. So it doesn't mean that that your site has actual errors, but what it means is that it gives you real specific information on when the search engines go and they look at your site, how they see it, and any problem areas that you're going to run into. So I encourage you at least to go out there and play around with it with your websites, print it off, and then when you're talking to your optimizer, at least have that handy and have them be able to go down the list and address a lot of that stuff with you. The SEO Doctor is a really great tool as well. This one's probably my favorite tool. It's installed here. You'll notice if I go to any particular page on your website, there's going to be a little percentage sign here. I can double click, I can click one time, and it actually gives me a little bit of a menu here. It will tell you whether you have done a good job with your inbound links and your page rank flow. Your analytics is on there, like Google Analytics. It'll check for that. The number of actual links that you have. You have a total of 51 links, you know, and you can click on and get more information. It'll teach you about all these things as well. My load time was 1.9 seconds for that page, well under 10 seconds. I have an H1 tag. It'll tell you what it is. It'll actually show you, you know, what that tag is. I have a title tag, and it shows me that it's within the 70 characters and 11 words. I have an H2 tag. It tells me what it is. Is the page indexable? Is it SEO-friendly URLs? Remember I was talking about this up here at the very top. Do I have alt tags on all of my images? You know, that kind of thing. And it'll give a little checkbox, or it'll give you an X, or it'll give you a little lightning bolt if it wants you just to take a look at it, because sometimes you're not always going to rank 100%, but if you're above 90% on each page, you're doing good. So this is something you would perform on every single page of your website, and then you can again export that to a CSV and then have a discussion with your web developer about it. Where can you get those tools? That's the ultimate question. Right here, you'll probably need to get a copy of the presentation because it's an ugly URL. But if you do Google top 7 must-have Firefox extensions or plugins or any of those keywords, it'll lead you to this TanyaDAM.com website, and it's just a blog essentially, and that's where you can find these tools and many more. Okay. We are pretty much out of time, so if there are any questions, and I'll turn it over to Jennifer and Priscilla.
We'll spend a few minutes on questions now, and then if we have a bunch more, we're just going to have to run down the hall. We have a conflict with this conference room starting at 3, but I did want to throw out there, we will